to justice. Obstruction to justice.
Justice now.
Well, hello, and welcome to another broadcast of Obstruction to Justice. I'm Ann Moles, and here at Obstruction to Justice, we just get a chance to talk about general information about relevant topics of the day. We get a chance to highlight politics and questions and issues based on our opinion and information, and economics and community and business organizations. And of course, my favorite is we get to talk about small business and business in particular. And today we're joined by passionpreneur and global health and wellness coach Pamela Wimbush-Cady. Welcome, Pamela.
Hey, how are you? So good to be here.
I am well, and thank you so much for joining. I am super excited that you joined today. You see, now here, the weather is breaking, and people have been on their, what do they call them? Like New Year's resolutions. Huh? They've been on their New Year's resolutions, and they're like, okay, is it working for them or not? And the weather here, now we're in the greater Kansas City, Missouri area. Where are you, Pamela?
I am in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, well, you're already enjoying the nice weather year round. Hey, Ariza Singleton is joined. She says, evening. Hey, Ariza, evening. Thanks for joining. So you're in Florida. Okay. Now we're just now getting past few days here in the greater Kansas City area. We have just now started getting a break in the weather, right? So now we had that extreme cold that came through, but still the main event what is always it's like the what do you do? It's like the New Year's resolution about weight loss, fitness. Now that's different. Weight loss is a little different from fitness, I think. Eating right, being healthy, and hey, Frank Hollins, thanks for joining, Frank. Uh, and and then exercise and all that. So we're being that wellness coach. Hmm, we're going to get a chance to. You're going to share with us, right?
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
your secret, and is it really a secret? So you're going to get a chance to share with us information about that wellness and everything, and then talk about being an entrepreneur. Now you use a fun term called passionpreneur. Hmm? Can you share with us what is a passionpreneur?
Well, I always have wanted to be a business owner, and I felt, what is my passion? What do I love the most? And I just came up with passionpreneur. I just said, I have a passion for anything healthy. I love gardening. I love organic. And I just thought, I'm passionate about being entrepreneur. Why don't I just marry those two together? And I think when you are in business, you have to have that passion
You
to
certainly
really
do.
do it.
Hmm.
So it's not like you don't want to get up every morning and jump out of bed and say, I just don't want to do it anymore. You've got to find that passion.
Hmm. You definitely do. And that term, passionpreneur, is cool. Might want to trademark that. Might want to trademark it. But when I think in it, when I think about it and hear it, I know that that's Pamela's term. And we're gonna definitely pump that up because it helps. It really helps
Yeah.
to kind of get us directed in the right place there. So here we go. You are um, a wellness coach, okay?
Hmm.
Health and wellness coach. What does a health and wellness coach do? I mean, you hear about them.
Right.
So share a little bit about what it is you do, dear.
So what I do is I talk to people on a daily basis, and I really just listen to them and find out what their struggles are in their health and wellness. You mentioned something earlier about New Year's resolutions. Well, your New Year's resolutions last until February 3rd.
Ah,
So we're well past that.
okay.
Most people, let's just say that, you know, and what happens is we have all of this incredible energy to go into it, but then it's like, oh, I don't see the weight coming off. I don't see the results because we're in an instant gratification, right?
Yes,
And
we
we
are.
want results. And so people get frustrated, but they don't know why. And so we sort of dig to the root of that. It's not like we want you to, you know, people get on diets. And
Mhm.
really, it's not about a diet. I mean, it is about eating well and your diet, but it's not like depriving yourself of food. And
Mhm.
a lot of people think that. So when I get with people, I listen to their struggles, I find out where they are at in their journey. Some people have struggled since they've been children. Some people have said, a lot of my clients are women in menopause. And it's almost like, the tap was turned off and they've just started gaining all this weight. Well, there's a lot behind that. And so we look at what is the culprit for that because, and again, I'm just going to share, a lot of it can be between the 6 inches here. Right.
Okay. I think so too. I think that we're actually trained, and I do a lot of training, but we're taught to eat all of the food that's on our plate, eat what's put in front of you. But do we really learn what it is that we should be eating? Now, I throw that out there. Do we really learn what it is that we should be eating? But then when we go to the pyramid and talk about what it is that,
Mhm.
the balance of what we should be eating, it does prove to say, okay, well, eat the grains and, whatever.
Right.
But here's the thing. Now, I've had to change my diet completely, Pamela. I've had to stop eating all the wheat. So no gluten, no eggs,
Mhm.
anything that causes inflammation. I'm
Mhm.
noticing that I can't eat anything that causes inflammation. And it's so, even trying to go to the fast food, to cut out as much of the fast food as possible. Try to train myself to take my bucket. I call it my bucket, right? The cooler where you have
Yeah.
all of your food in it,
Mhm.
where you can just kind of pull things out and snack. Eating at the right times. That's
Mhm.
another thing. But so why, and I'm not the only one. What is it about people that where they're actually getting they have gluten intolerant issues? I'm hearing a lot of people they can't eat the wheat.
Well, I think a lot of it stems from, we never had those problems 40 years ago
No, we
or,
didn't.
or third, or, I think it all started about 1989
Mhm.
when they really changed the food pyramid
Mhm.
and a lot of wheat at the bottom. So people say, oh, well, that's really good. Well, the problem now is a lot of our wheat, our rice, all of that is processed.
Mhm.
They've husked out all the good stuff, the good nutrients.
Mhm.
Because now, I mean, you pick up a bag of flour and it can sit on the shelf for 5 years. I
Mhm.
mean, so there's a lot of things in there, a lot of preservatives that we didn't have 40 years ago.
Mhm.
So the food industry is putting more and more things like salt and sugar and preservatives so it has a longer shelf life. And
So it sounds like it's about the dollars, right?
yeah, yeah, it does.
So
And
they can
yeah,
store it for a long time and then drag it out and
yeah.
yeah.
And I think what's happened too is people have gotten that, just like you said, that adage of you've got to eat everything on your plate, right? Um, and that's okay as long as it's in moderation. But we, like, for example, my grandmother, I have a set of her old china. Their
Mhm.
plates are not 12 inches.
Mm.
Their plates were 8 inches. And that's how big the plate is. And you put a 12-inch plate up against an 8-inch plate, we tend to just stack our plates. And
Mhm.
so we tend to eat a lot more. And very much like you said, there's a lot of things that cause inflammation. Wheat causes inflammation, dairy causes inflammation,
Mhm.
things like that, that people don't realize could be affecting, their body. And especially as you get older in women, we can't tolerate that inflammation in our bodies. We just
No.
can't, no one can. But I
Yeah.
think women find it more because of the hormonal imbalances that are going on as they get older and older.
Yeah. And part of us not being able to tolerate certain foods, well, we weren't trained or taught to eat properly. More fruits, actually vegetables. I think genetically modified foods have played a big factor.
Mhm.
We're the generation that has grown older on GMOs.
Correct.
I travel overseas, and being overseas, one of my you get a chance to talk to the chefs and everything, and the chefs they share was one chef in particular. He shared that, look, he goes to get his vegetables grown, they're freshly local to the farm, and we're going to talk about some local
Mhm.
things here coming
Yeah.
up, but local to the farm. And then the farmer, they don't they don't process the food in a way, they don't the way that they grow it, it's naturally organic. So he
Mhm.
deals with just strictly organically grown food as much as he can. uh, and then from there you can even tell the difference, that it tastes differently. The seed that, even our own personal gardens, I don't know what your garden is like, I'm sure it's way better than mine. Yeah, we have these bugs that have been plaguing us, those little beetles that just
Yeah.
seem to eat up everything. But even with that, the seed makes the difference. And then what it
Mhm.
is you do to grow the vegetable makes the difference. And you can actually taste the difference, as opposed to going and buying your veggies already from one of the local grocers. Now, there's one grocer I can't stand buying my food from, this one particular grocer, because the food just doesn't taste the same. But I'll go to another grocer where the food is better. It
Mhm.
just tastes better.
Mhm.
So this GMO thing, do we really know what genetically modified food has done? Well, I think that, we do know, and that it's obesity is one of the main things. And it's not so much, because a lot of times people don't eat a lot. It's just that what they eat, it's poison. Do they
Mhm.
feel good? And then what about, and I have a quick question, what about eating for your blood type? Is that something that's really effective?
Yes, it can be. It can be.
Mhm.
I wouldn't focus solely on that. I think it's going back to what you just said about non-GMO and GMO, right?
Mhm.
Um, when you have GMO seeds, they're not going to grow again. You
Mhm.
know how you used to be able to take a cucumber and take the seeds out and plant them? Well, you can't do that with GMO. And a lot of our foods are GMO, which takes a lot of the nutrients out. And so when you're
Mm.
talking about, oh, should you be eating with your blood type? Well, yes and no, because some of the things that the foods that we're eating now don't have the nutritional value, and so you could be saying, yeah, I'm eating this because of my blood type, but you still may not be getting the
Still not
nutritional.
getting it. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I hadn't even thought about that. So that watermelon now, I now watermelon season's coming up. And back in the day, one of the most fun things to do was to take those watermelon seeds and whoo, Ooh, I mean,
Get them
okay,
out.
all
I
right.
loved it. I loved it. Didn't you sit on the front porch and see who could spit the furthest
Yeah,
with those
you
papers?
know, that's a little gross here, but yeah, but the idea was that the seed was there, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And yeah, you were curious as a kid. Hey, can I plant this to get a watermelon? Well, probably. Now, we do have a question. Riza is asking why. So I think we may have answered that Riza, in that the as far as the GMOs, we don't get the nutrition. And what I'm hearing, just to kind of reiterate, even though you eat for your blood type, because the food is a GMO food, it's
Mhm.
still not giving you the nutrients that you need, right?
Correct.
So that's why, the food is, it's just one of the things about it is that it's not nutritious. So we take it in, we eat it, and then we think, okay, well, we're getting, I'm wondering. I'm throwing up my hands. I don't anything. I eat salads, and I'm working on eating more salads. Okay, so there's going to be some vitamins in that. Kale seems to be a big one now.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're doing a lot of kale, but of course you have to go get the kale that's non-GMO.
Yeah.
Uh,
So this is why I think it's so important that people really look at supplementation along with eating,
okay.
because I think that, is so, so important. Because if you are not getting the nutrients out of the food we're eating because it's GMO, and some people will say, well, I eat organic. Well, you could be eating organic, but you don't know if those seeds are GMO or non-GMO. You
Mm,
expect them to be non-GMO, but that doesn't necessarily mean, remember, GMO seeds were developed to produce food faster because we
mm,
have this world that's growing and growing. Non-GMO foods take a little longer. And so, you have to see where you are, one in your, and we pay a little more for organic. Um, but what I was going to say about that is supplementation and getting good supplements into you, like getting a good multivitamin into you,
okay.
getting good omegas into you. Those
Mm-hmm.
kind of things are so important to help. And you can eat all day long and you can go to the gym all day long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
so you really need to kind of supplement. You do need to supplement.
You need a good supplement. Now, is is there a now here, I've been taking prenatal vitamins.
Hmm.
That was my thing, was to take a prenatal vitamin because it seemed to have a lot more in it than, if you're taking a prenatal, you should have everything in it to kind of make you go, make you happy. Mm. And then you don't have to guess, well, what multivitamin is better than other. What do you think about that? Women just taking a good prenatal vitamin.
It is up to what I always say, go to your pharmacist,
Mm,
because doctors, I love doctors, don't get me wrong, but doctors tend to prescribe things for you, but they've never gone to, study nutrition in medical school. And no fault of their own. They used to, it's no longer there.
mhm,
And that's a whole nother story, girl. So we won't
mhm,
even go there. But I really think that if you look and find a good multivitamin, that's what I do. I have,
mhm,
along with my health and wellness practice,
mhm,
I make sure people get on supplements.
mhm,
And I have an amazing supplement that's non-GMO. I mean, I did my research and got on it and tried it and it worked. But if you do that, I would suggest that there are a couple of things that you look for. Make sure it is non-GMO. Make sure it's cold pressed, not heat pressed, because a lot of supplements are heat pressed, like the ones that you get at Costco or Walgreens or Walmart or the vitamin store. Most of them are heat pressed. Well, what
Mm.
does that do? Heat takes, just like when you're cooking your vegetables, heat takes some of the nutrients out of it.
Mhm.
So why would you want to do that with your vitamins? Um, I use a great one called Action, and it's a great multivitamin. It's coated so that it's time released in your belly, in your gut all day
Mm.
long, and you're getting nutrients throughout the day. So you really have to do your research. And if people, want to, connect with me, we'll give them the information. But I think that it's so important to have supplementation along with good eating, good food, and of course, exercise, right?
Okay, you said the E word.
I'm sorry.
You said the E word. Now, uh, as an entrepreneur, I know I'm guilty. Okay, I can sit at my desk and grind for hours, and I can sit. I do 12 hours straight, and I'm up. I'm like, now let's go. But that's not really the healthy thing to do. I've missed the sun. Okay,
Mhm.
that's kind of another thing that goes on. I miss the sun, and after the years of working in corporate, working in these offices, working from home,
Yeah.
that right there, you're not getting the sun enough, which has that one major vitamin in it, the vitamin D, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
then that seems to drag on and cause health problems too in
Correct.
later on in the years. Now, for all of the ladies that are in their 20 somethings and everything, and of course they're beautiful, they're fly, they feel great, they still have some energy or whatever, and the 30 somethings, they still have energy or whatever. This, what I'm hearing Miss Pamela say is that, look, this is something that she coaches people on, but we're not to start it when we're in trouble. I don't think that that's is the effective thing.
Absolutely not.
We're trying to encourage people and provide information only. Of course, you want to see your doctor. If you're on meds already, you want to definitely follow
Mhm.
what it is that your doctor has prescribed you to do. We're not saying jump off your meds and then go find something that a prenatal vitamin or any type of vitamin to take the place of it. But these are healthy lifestyle things that should be followed. Now, try to stay away from the GMOs. Now, and I'm just going to kind of chime in just a bit here, because a lot of times there is in the communities, there's they call them vegetable deserts, or
Yes.
places to where they can't get to the fresh fruits and vegetables.
Mhm.
Okay, so I understand that, but also try to make it a once every 2 weeks or once a week trip if you can, and also try to get there's a head of cabbage. Now, Miss Pamela, a head of cabbage has saved my life. Okay, cabbage is a fat burner. It
Mhm.
now it stinks cooking it or whatever. It even stinks grinding it up, because I put it in the food processor and I make slaw in a lot of things. But those types of big bulk greens, it seems like we forget about our greens as a culture.
Mhm.
Americans, African Americans, folks that just like soul food, Miss Pamela, seems like we've forgotten about our greens and our cabbages and have traded those foods in for fast food, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
So very much like what you said, if you go back, what was soul food? It
mhm,
was food that came out of the garden. You
yeah,
know, those,
mhm,
oh my God, I love collard greens.
mhm,
I
mhm,
love cabbage. I love beans.
mhm,
Those are the kind of things. But as we have migrated away from the farming, the small towns, and into larger cities, now let me share with you, people say there are food deserts, and definitely there are. But in these corner stores or in these corner supermarkets, there's always fresh I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say fresh, but frozen vegetables.
Frozen.
You
Okay.
know, and
Mhm.
people don't realize that they could use that.
Mhm.
I mean, seriously, and I think you've been this way, and we've all had our ups and downs in our life financially and all of that kind of thing. But there were times when, you had frozen peas, frozen corn, and you made what we called stone soup. And you
Mhm.
just put everything in there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because,
Good soup. But the soup is something that we don't eat. But
yeah.
soup is it saved my life. It's nutritious. It's there where I can heat it up gradually. It smells good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's our homemade soup. When
Homemade.
if you look at, all of these canned soups, the sodium that's in it, the sugar that's in it, and we haven't even talked about that, sugar is in everything.
Mhm.
That low fat has sugar in it. And
Yeah.
so sugar is more addictive, and it's been scientifically proven more addictive than cocaine.
Mm.
So all
Mhm.
of these fast foods, all of these processed foods, all have sugar. They all have salt. So salt is not good for your heart. Now, salt is good because you need it,
Mm.
but you don't need 800 milligrams of salt
Mhm.
a day.
Yes, that's true.
So, there's a saying that I just saw recently. If you want to look like $1,000,000, you can't eat off the dollar menu.
Okay. All right. Very okay. I'm done with it. I'm that right there. That took everybody, put everybody in the row that goes that goes to the fast food. That we're all lined up, and here comes that saying. It's like the Three Stooges. It just slaps everybody down. It does. And now here's another thing that I had to do to stop hurting. I had to get away from chicken
Mhm.
that was not grown. I only eat chicken that was grown with no steroids, no hormones, none of that saline stuff that they
Mhm.
pump into them. So
Yep.
I in my chicken costs, I go to the health food store, and they advertise it, and I can tell the difference. I'm so
Mhm.
sensitive at this point in my life to where I can tell what is in that food. And
Yep.
they sell the chickens, they're frozen, just they're smaller than most chickens because they're not all pumped up with all of the hormones and the steroids and stuff. But I go, and it's in the frozen meat, fat the Whole Foods and
Mhm.
places like that, they still sell meat.
Yeah.
Everybody's not a vegan going to those places, guys. And it's not as expensive as you think, because what you can do, what you're paying for that $10 chicken, guaranteed when you go to that fast food restaurant, that drive through, you're going to spend 10, 12, $14 for two people, where you can get that chicken. And what I've done is, instead of making meat my primary part of my meal, we want to get a big steak, we want to get a big lots of chicken or whatever. I use the chicken and food for flavor,
Mhm.
right? So I can just get a piece now and be satisfied. I don't have to have the whole chicken, a half chicken, and all kinds of things like that. I don't have to do that. But I had to get off the chicken and the meat, all the processed food, anything that was processed, hormones, steroids, and get off of that. And now I don't hurt as much.
Right.
Okay. I can tell when I've ate wheat. I can tell when I've ate meat that was processed in that way or grown in that way. And, it's just not good, you know.
No, it isn't. I mean, and the reason they do it, why do they do it? Is because, again, um, the same with cows. They put these hormones in them so they'll produce more milk. They'll put hormones in cows in their feed to get them fatter to go to market. And so if you can do organic, and I'm very much that way.
Mhm.
And here's a tip for those who do want to think about, eating lean, green, and clean. That's how I could put it. So if you are getting lean meat or anything like, let's face it, you can get your proteins from other things as well. But like tofu and things like that, of course, organic, and what you have to watch that as well. We're in an age where we're going to just have to watch, right? It's just the
Pretty
nature
much.
of the bit.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, if you are looking to lose over 40 pounds, then you want to be weighing your protein at 6 ounces.
6 ounces a meal or
A
6 ounces
meal,
a day?
a meal.
A meal. Mhm.
Okay. That means breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what I suggest to people is grab a protein shake in the morning or at lunch or wherever you want to do. Just have one,
Mhm.
a protein shake that gets your protein in. The other thing is, if you want to lose, if you're looking to lose under 30 pounds, you want to measure your protein at 4 ounces. Okay. Measure it. Don't use the palm of your hand. Get a scale at Walmart. They should be paying us, but they
Yeah.
get a scale at Walmart.
I didn't want to say that because anyway.
But it's,
Yeah,
I'll tell you, it's the
sure.
cheapest place you get one. So just
Mhm.
go and get one.
Yeah.
And then get a measuring cup and measure your veggies out at 2 cups. And do that at lunch and dinner. Have snacks. This whole process of weight loss, people saying, I'm on a diet. You don't need to be on a diet. You need to be fueling your body constantly throughout the day.
Mm.
Okay, that's so important. It's not depriving your body. Now, let me just share. I tell people this all the time. What is your favorite? When we put them on our program, the program that I do, it's an 8-day jump start. We get rid of alcohol, dairy, grains, starches, carbs, sugar. Your body is going through a detox, and it does go through it. But what comes out on the other side of it is people say, oh my God, I've never felt so good. I
Mhm.
feel so amazing. Now we supplement as well through this. But the other thing is, on day 9, I always say to them, what did you crave the most? And they'll say, I wanted a beer, or I wanted pizza, or I wanted a hamburger. And I say, go and have it. Go have
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Because your body has craved it all that time. If you deprive it of it, the leptins in your brain are saying, oh, she's starving me. She's starving me.
Mhm.
And you'll plateau. And that's what happens with people that go on the New Year's resolution that we talked about earlier.
Mhm.
And they go to the extreme, and your body is rejecting it and saying, I can't do it. So they don't have any ability to figure out what's going on. And that's where I come in and work with them. But you did say something, Anne, that I want to go back to, that I want to pick up for people about you sitting at a desk. A lot of people are doing that now. They're at home. They probably have put on the quarantine 15.
Mhm.
They haven't gotten away. And I'm just going to share with you, grab your phone, and
Okay.
I want you to take a time through the day. I want you to put it into your phone, on your calendar or on your timer, and every day it goes off, and you go and walk for 15 minutes or go and ride a bike for 15 minutes. And if it's cold outside, walk around your house or walk around inside your house for 15 minutes. Just movement for 15 minutes a day, and doing it, whether you do it at 8 a.m. in the morning or you do it 8 a.m. at night.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. You've got to make time for that movement throughout the day, because if you don't, that's where your body starts to react. It says, I'm not getting that exercise. I'm not feeling good. You're not even clearing your mind. And you think
Mhm.
you think you're working, right? You think you're
Yeah.
productive, and you're not. So I wanted to bring that up. So anyone that's like you that works 12 hours at their desk or at home, take the time.
Yeah.
It's your time, your own personal time for
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
not for your job, not for for me. I make sure I go out 30 minutes a day and
30
cycle.
minutes. Now, you're saying 15, and that makes it even more appealing, guys, because we can take 15 minutes out of our lives. I think people get all bent out of shape and say, okay, well, I have to go work out because I want to look like, Arnold or, whatever figure model, whatever fitness person, female fitness person. And I have to go into the gym and I have to do it for an hour or I have to do it for an hour and a half or whatever. I mean, we can grow to that, sure. But I think that what you're saying, I'm enjoying it. And yes, it's helping because if we could just take 15 minutes on a consistent basis. It's like something will jump in and it's like, oh well, I got to do this because here's, whatever. But what's more important? Is it that little thing that it can't wait 15 minutes? Then maybe we need to look at doing something different with our lives if it just can't wait 15 minutes. I
You got
like
it.
that.
You got it.
Yeah, I like that.
It's your time. It's your time. You can never get it back.
Mhm.
Time is the most valuable thing that you can never get back.
Mhm.
You can make money, you can, be on your computer, you can do all of that, but time is your most valuable, precious asset. And if you're not taking the time for you,
Mhm.
you've lost that asset.
Mhm.
You are the asset. How would you be if something happened to you and it's your family, right?
That's true.
You want to be healthy for them.
That's right. Miss Pamela, we need to get out here and check out some of your information. So, you're sharing that being that coach, okay, being that fitness coach. Let's go to how are we going to get in touch with you? I think that's something here. Let's go to your LinkedIn page first.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to show that LinkedIn page. And what a great picture there. And what a great picture of you, but what a great picture too, that background. I like that and everything. If they would like to get in touch with you, which I would suggest, if this is something that's super important, uh try to get in touch with her, right? As far as make the time. If 15-minute phone call, what do you do? How do you invite people to chat with you? What is it that the process, say for instance we have someone that's listening and they're just like, well look, I really do need to talk to Miss Pamela here because I'm failing. It's just not working for me. Logging it into my phone or whatever. I need that wellness. I need that health and wellness coach in my life. What do they do? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can go to my LinkedIn page, and my phone number is under contacts. You can just click on that, and my phone number is there. I'm an open book. I love to help people. If I don't answer, just leave a message with your phone number, and I'll call you right back. Or they can go on to Linktree, which
Okay.
is
Let me go grab that. Let me
yeah.
go over here to Linktree and we'll show what that is. Now, this is a pretty cool looking place where it looks like there's all of the contact process options are here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So are you able? Yeah, we're seeing
Yeah.
that Linktree. Okay.
Yeah. So you can get me on Instagram. You can see me on TikTok. You can, get me. You can do. I have a small little podcast I've just started. If you want to beat sugar cravings, you can click on that. It will come up to a Google Doc. Just put your information in there, and I will contact you. I like to talk by phone, or I like to do FaceTime phones because I like to get to know my customers. I like to get to know the people that I can help. And it's free for you to do that. You can just come on 15 minutes. I'll walk you through some things. I'll share what I do with my 8-day jumpstart. And then, if it's for you, great. If not, I can make some recommendations that you can take away with you and do on your own.
Okay, that is super. And that consultation, guys, it's free. That's what she's sharing. She's going to take the time to walk you through some things, talk with you, and a lot of times that's what people need. And of course, she can make some other suggestions, and be open to that too. Uh, whatever products you can tell the girl looks good. You look great, Miss Pamela.
Well,
Yeah.
I will share, and I'm very proud of this. I actually turned 66 on Friday.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
you look great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. The smile and the vitality, for sure. It is just seeping through. Whatever you're doing is working. It is working for you. And, it should be working for us too. Here's an opportunity where you can get with Miss Pamela and she can help you get to that place too, to where you're hanging in there and doing great about your health. Now, let's look at two. I think there's a website, your website
Yes.
that we can check out here.
Yeah.
Now, she has a website, guys. So there's another way to check out some information. And
Mhm.
it looks like the website is www.pamelamayLiving.com.
Mhm.
And share with us maybe a couple of places where we can go to check out some information, Miss Pamela.
So what you can do, there's a lot of stories on my LinkedIn page. There's a lot of articles and on my website. I go, I'm a believer that there are people out there that share their information, and I always credit them. Because people don't have time to research it, and I'm doing the research. So if I see something that's going to attract someone or help them, when I go out, I put hashtags. So if you look for, hashtag 8-day jumpstart, you'll find it. It will come, and do that to me. But the thing about it is, I want people to realize that there's a lot out there. And if you don't have the time, I'm willing to help you.
Mm-hmm.
So I read a lot on this stuff. I go out a lot to a lot of and subscribe to a lot of magazines. So if I see something, I'll contact them and I'll put that article out onto my Facebook page. I'll put it out on LinkedIn and I'll put it out on my website.
Linked. Okay. And out here so far, I mean, I'm seeing the 17 best ways to maintain weight loss.
Yep.
Okay. Now that looks like an interesting article that can definitely get you going and keep you going, because, we talked about people just giving up. Look, the New Year's resolution starts in January, but it's over by February.
Oh yeah,
So,
I mean, and it's no fault of anyone's,
yeah.
it's just the nature of the beast. We're like that, we're human. And
Mhm.
we just go with the flow. I am not one to, I think if you, let's just share, if you really are determined, and I went back to that thing about the 6 inches between your ears,
Mhm.
that's when it happens.
Mhm.
That's when it really happens. I get people calling me who say, oh, my doctor just told me that I have to whatever. And
Mhm.
that's when they call and they say, okay, I'm ready to do it.
Mhm.
And a
Mhm.
lot of people, a lot of moms, and grandmothers say, you know what, I really would love to, play with my grandkids. I want to get on the floor and play with them. I want to be able to cycle with them this summer. I don't want to be sitting on the porch while the rest of the family goes off cycling or goes off doing that, or
Mhm.
because I can't do it. I just don't have the energy. I'm overweight. I've got aches and pains in my body. I had a young woman who, wanted to go bungee jumping, but she couldn't because she was overweight.
Mhm.
Well, that was her goal.
Mhm.
And she lost 40 pounds.
Cool. Now, eh, what I see too, now out here too, subscribe now. So if you're wanting to keep up with what's going on now, Miss Pamela just shared that she actually goes out and reads the different articles and stays up to date. And a lot of times I'm busy. We already have established that. I don't have any more hours in the day. But here's a way: if you go out to her website, the PamelaMayLiving.com, then you can sign up for her newsletter. You'll put your email in there, your name, and get the newsletter. And then that's another way. If you're busy, go out there and pop your information in, and she'll contact you, right?
Mhm. Yes,
So
ma'am.
contact you, and you can get going with that. So whenever she does some publishing, she'll also have a your account or record or request that
Mhm.
you want her to send you
Yeah.
the information to. So this is cool. So your testimonials are out here, your blog is out here. There it looks like there's some product information out here, resources, and of course, contact me. So information about Pamela. So yeah, that's always interesting. People want to know what's going on. How did this person overcome all of the scary things of life? And finally, when she talks about the 6 inches here, at the head there, what's between your ears, how did you overcome and come to be that? So there's some information about her as well, which is super exciting. You can go out there and check her out.
And Anne, I want to point out for all those, we were going to talk a little bit about, passionpreneur and business
Mhm.
owners. And I'm just going to share, there's a lot of business owners right now that really need our support.
Yes.
And they're the ones, we can really help. And that's why I say this is so important for you to mark, just like you're busy all day,
Mhm.
mark taking 15 minutes of your time, because they're stressing right now. And so I'm a advocate, just like I'm a small business, you're a small business, we are the foundations of this country.
Mhm.
And we need to take care of ourselves so we can take care of our families, but also we as other entrepreneurs have to take care of other entrepreneurs as well.
Very true. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that's what obstruction of justice is all about. We get a chance to talk and have some segment time, taking some time to talk about and feature and highlight small businesses and people that are doing great things as great Americans. We're continuing on in the cycle of business to thrive in this world and be productive citizens and make a way in this world. So yeah, that's what this is definitely all about. I appreciate that with you being here with that. Now, too, we're as far as businesses are concerned, we talk about different businesses and everything, and we do feature different businesses. But I'm wondering, what is, in your opinion, what is the challenge? What is the actually the first, what is the most important thing that a person should do when they're looking at starting a business or hanging in there or contemplating a business? What's the number one thing in your opinion that a person should do?
Well, I think there are 5 elements of a business,
Okay.
and I didn't create this. This is from the Harvard Business School. I do a lot of coaching. I have a personal coach. I do all of this. And this is one of the things that we have been talking about over the last few weeks.
Mhm.
Because, you start a business, if you're an entrepreneur, I have this passion, I'm going to start. Well, I think if I had known this at the very beginning, it would have helped. So I'm just going to share them because I have them written down. I don't want to miss anything. The first one is the product. What are you going to sell? Is there a market? Is there a need for it? Does the product meet the need? If you want to start a store, like your consulting business, you looked at it. Does the marketplace take the need for that? The third one, is it competitive? Will it make a profit? Those are the things that you need to look at. You need to look at your revenue. If you are starting a small business and you're doing a home-based business, you might be, doing a consulting business. You might be doing direct sales, multi-level marketing, which, those are a great profession for people, especially, people are looking for a home-based business. They've been working a year from home. They don't want to go back to work. They say that the increase is like, double what it was last year this time for people looking for home-based businesses. But you also, if you're doing that, you've got to find your revenue.
Mhm.
What's the comp plan? If you're joining an affiliate, you got to look at that. Will you really make money?
Mhm.
You have to look at those things. Is there support out there?
Mhm.
Do you join, shop local in your community? You can get that support. Is the timing right?
Mhm.
Um, is it, and I think the timing is right for anyone to start a business. I really do.
Yeah, I've talked with one thing about timing, and I think timing, you should consider it. I think personal timing is more important than the
Hmm.
market timing because you
Yeah.
can get out there and there's a lot of people that started their businesses in a timely manner where they thought the market was right. And then, oops, here comes the C word, and everybody had to get locked down and all that. So, there's no real way to predict what the future is going to be like when it comes to time. But I think the main thing is the personal time. Are you really ready? Is the 6 inches between your ears there? Are you really ready to grind and get this going and make it a part of your lifestyle? Because that's what entrepreneurs really have to do. Is that it has to be that product. I like that product, service. What is it that you're doing? The sales and market. We talk about that. And that's something that we do at ASBNC Training and Consulting. We actually have a sales club. So if you're having issues with your sales, you're not getting your sales together, you want to bounce off of people that are into selling, or you just want to be able to do a pitch to sell. There's a sales club, and we have a process that we invite people to do. And participate in that sales club. So sales and marketing is important. The competitiveness, will you make a profit? Definitely something that you should look
Hmm.
into.
Yep.
Definitely. And how soon are you expected to make a profit? Because when and that's something that I think there's a blind spot in small business that people don't really understand, that to make a profit, you still have to hold on to maintain your lifestyle and be able to live. But then, too, don't really expect a profit in some business models to come as quickly as you would think. You still have to get out there and sell. And I think the one of the better plans is if you have a Rolodex where you've already done the job for someone else, and now you have a Rolodex and you can bring it with you. That's a way to get customers, but the customers and the clients are super important. And that should be, to me, that sales business model should be number one. The revenue, do you have money to hold on? Is that something that you can do to be able to hold on? Can you hold on for a year? Because
Yeah.
trust me, that, as far as profit, I know major companies that if I said their names right now, you would be flabbergasted to know that they've never made a profit. And even with business, that they were able to borrow and budget and pay the note on their borrowing. See, that's a business model, guys. That's a revenue part of maintaining your business. What is it that you're going to do? How are you going to make it happen? Are you going to go in debt to do this and be able to pay the note on the debt until it comes to be? There's
Hmm.
just different ways, and of course, the support is super important because without the support, if you have a household that's divided, you're going to be in trouble. You're going
Hmm.
to be in trouble. You're not going to be able to hang in there. So those are definitely great tips. Buy local is another thing that you had mentioned, Pamela, and that buy local, get with your local chamber of commerce, right? And I
Hmm.
think that's where we're familiar with the buy local campaigns. Get with your
Hmm.
local chamber of commerce. It's a good place to network, good place to kind of hear some things. you know, anyway, there are options, and that's something that we do at ASBNC Training and Consulting. We actually help people uh, build a business plan. We have business plan class. We have a career management class that will empower you to identify whether or not you're wanting to continue in a career or have a career as an entrepreneur. So
Mhm.
yeah, those are things that we do, and we think about them, and we've helped people. We help you get to the next level, just like you do. That health and wellness, and your business is very important because people just don't, unless you, even when you do have the gas, you're saying, okay, I'm ready. My 6 inches are, they're pumped and primed. And let's go, Pamela, let's go. And it's like, okay, so you get started, but that coaching is what is super important. And that's why your wellness and health and wellness coaching is important. People should contact you if they're needing to keep that going. um, let's see. I want one too. Huh. That's William King. Brother King, thanks for joining. Yeah. So the health and wellness coach, we have a way where you can get in contact with her. She's out there on LinkedIn, Pamela Katie. She's on LinkedIn, and there's contact information. Most people, if you, that's another thing too. I think that we don't take advantage of our social media options for as long as we can, because some of us get kicked off of them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's a lot going on, but while you can, do your networking. And that is something that we also help with at ASBNC Training and Consulting. We train and teach and support in Google Analytics and how to help you get your social media established. And we actually maintain it for you too. So if there's something that you don't want to maintain or don't have the time to do, we can help you do that. A lot of people really do need to stay focused on the health and wellness part, because regardless to what it is you think you want to do, if you don't have the gas to do it, guys, if you don't have the health and wellness to do it, it's just, it's still a dream. It's something that you're uh, not gonna, do successfully unless you really hang in there to do it. We really do appreciate you joining, Miss Pamela. Anything else you want to chime in on and make us aware?
No, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm an old hippie at heart. I'm just like
You're a
want.
beautiful person. You
Well,
know,
thank you.
yeah, hippies. Hippies are cool. Don't get me wrong. See, what do they call us? What will we be? If that we have hippies, but then and hippies might not be the greatest term. It's a term of endearment and love, guys, because it's not a where they
Oh
may have
no.
thought of it as being a derogatory term back in the day. Not for us now, because I have people that I love that are hippies. They're just free spirits, and they just love life and love health. We have some supporters that are that way. One personal supporter, I'm not going to name her name. Let her just say what she wants to be or whatever. But in my circle of, there are just people that are free loving people and healthy people.
Yeah,
So if being a hippie is to be healthy and natural and holistic in that way, then
yeah,
okay, But
yeah,
we're kind of a skater. I don't know, what
yeah,
do they call her? Well, even in school, you have freaks and you have geeks. Those that
yeah,
are into the look. There is a term of endearment in that. Be just be healthy
yeah,
be healthy and be good to yourself. Someone used to tell me that all the time, and like, what do you mean I'm good to myself? Okay, I work 12 hours a day. I live on coffee, and I'm pulling
So,
my hair out, but I'm
so,
good to myself. Okay.
so my little thing is, I'm a happy, healthy hippie, all hip, all health, no hype.
All right. No hype. No hype, because see, hype it runs out. The real thing will show up sooner or
Yeah.
later.
I want people to feel so comfortable talking to me. I want them they share things with me that I would never share with someone else. And I want them to realize that I'm their friend. I'm there for them and how important it is for them. So, but
Cool.
I want to thank you so much. I've had so much fun.
It is a fun thing. We appreciate you joining. We appreciate you hanging out and come back. Now, we're going to get some reports. I'm sure that people are going to contact you and we'll get a chance to get some updates and some reports on,
Yeah.
what's new. These are about contemporary or relevant talks, relevant things that are going on. And we're going to also be featuring some of that as well moving forward. We're, kind of a newer format for now, but we're going to get a chance to do that for sure. Thank you, Miss Pamela.
Well, thank you, Ann. I just so appreciate you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining today. Just be aware, too, that if you're needing any type of training and support, we are here to help you at ASBNC Training and Consulting. You can go to the website www.asbnc.com, and there's some information out there. Contact us. The contact information is out there. You can reach me at Ann Moles. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm also on Facebook as well. So go ahead and inbox me or whatever they call it. But just get in touch with me if you think that we can help you out too. And just stay safe and just hang in there. And we'll see you next time.
Justice now.